All right, crew, welcome in today. I appreciate you guys clicking the video. Today's going to be a little bit of a different format. Quite excited. Starting up a new series where we're going to do kind of like a podcast, interview some people around the community. And the first video is going to be about a good friend of ours that I've known for quite a bit of time. So I really hope you guys enjoy this format. Make sure you comment about any changes or any other people that you want me to get in front of. And then, of course, like and subscribe. So I appreciate it, guys. Let's get right into it. All right, Toby, well, I appreciate you joining me today for honestly the first episode of this series. We'll see how long it goes, but appreciate you joining me today. And
An honor, mate.
if for everybody that's new or has not been able to get to know you, if you want to kind of walk through who you are and then kind of your journey in Rise of Kingdom so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing on and off for probably 5 or 6 years. I took a big break and then I came back pretty full on maybe 2, 3 years ago. Just played, met some mates, and we played sort of B seeds. Then when the 3092 project came about, I jumped on board with that. Was there since the first KVK where met you guys. We were allies. Smashed you guys. You guys didn't want to fight us for the star, so that was easy stuff for us. And then back-to-back Siege of Orleans with 3092.
Oof.
Obviously, probably wasn't the best choice after how we ended out, but that's what happens. And now we're doing one last KVK here before we move on.
Nice, nice. Okay, so you probably do, but do you remember kind of your native kingdom and where you first started off at?
So I think it was 30, early 30 something, like maybe 3060s was
Yeah.
when I came back. Before that, I can't remember. It would have been like early 2000s.
Oh wow. Okay.
The first sort of one I remember properly is 3150 and around there. I was there for a bit. And then I think it was 3163. 24, 26, I went back there because we had one of our mates was king there. And then from there I came to 3092.
Okay. Cool. And then any of those kingdoms kind of still chugging along, or
I think 3150 sort of had like a bit of a resurgence. Like a lot of people left, and then a few people stayed, and they brought in mates. And I think that's sort of it. 24, 26 still goes. They're a bit smaller these days because a lot of their leadership also sort of took a step back and moved on to other kingdoms.
yeah,
I think that's sort of the way most kingdoms go these days.
yeah. Just hitting on that. I mean, so with a lot of the new changes with the game, and then even a lot of the disbanding and kingdom merges and stuff like that, what's been kind of the biggest surprises for you this year so far?
I mean, I think the 960 disbandment was probably the biggest sort of shock to everybody, but ultimately, I think it was the best thing for Rise of Kingdoms. I mean, if you look at them now, they're still, I think they're fifth or sixth in KP for the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And yeah, they're what's that, fifth at the moment. They were just so far ahead, and I get why they disbanded. Like, there's not really much more they could have done in the game besides just keep queuing up and hoping they got maybe 2 imps against them or whatever it would have been. But I can imagine it gets pretty boring just stomping people repeatedly.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know any of the boys over there, like Cortex and all of them?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I speak to Cortex a bit. I sort of know Plotto through a little bit through as well. Some of the 3092 guys that were in 2268 with him.
Yeah.
And just a few other people you sort of meet just around through whatever group chats or even with Strife and stuff now or OL,
Sure.
whatever it is. There's a lot of, it's pretty good networking. That's what I like about Rock. It's, yeah, there's so many people you can meet, so much of a community-based game, which is cool.
Yeah, that's valid. And yeah, I was curious because after that, I feel like there was a couple kingdoms that started disbanding or talking about disbanding, but after 960 pushed and opened the door, I feel like there's been quite a bit of a trend going on when it's coming to that. Do you think it's going to slow down towards the end of the year? Do you feel like we're kind of at the peak of that disbanding area, or do you think there's a couple other kingdoms knocking on that door and spread it out basically?
Yeah. I mean, I think 39.2 started the trend. We were
Yeah.
one of the first ones to
I was about to
disband,
say
and
you
then
guys
everyone
are a
else.
little bit of that trendsetter.
Yeah, everyone else followed us. I don't know. I think there's a pretty big KVK lined up for. Is it this pop? There'll be a lot of imps potentially going into, or even high A's that'll be looking at going into King of All Britain. I
Mhm.
think like 2377, 2489, 1606, all those sort of ones are looking to go into this one. So that'll be big. I think, depending on how that goes, if someone gets stomped, it might be like the same sort of thing. It might be leadership go, all right, this is it. Like, I can't commit as much as I want. And they could be seeing maybe one of those disband, but it'll be interesting now. I don't know if 1093 are sort of that little bit ahead now. They seem to be like one trill kill points ahead of everybody else,
Yeah.
and they are sort of double the player count, which is big, especially with the new tech. It's not as like whale sort of like heavy isn't as important anymore. Like I think it was 1846 said like that was the whole reason they disbanded was the new tech isn't based off just having some really high in accounts. It's the depth, which is where 1093 definitely sort of go.
Yeah, it's
They're
pushed
more
into
quantity over
activity level.
quality.
Yeah, the activity level.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see about that. Um,
Do you think it's
I don't think there'll be
overall?
many.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't think many. I don't think anyone will sort of call it quits this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens a little bit more next year. Maybe one or two big
Mm.
more KVKs and see what happens.
Do you think it's overall good and healthy for the team, or do you think there's too many players that might be full on quitting, or do you think it's more so been okay? Let's spread the accounts a little bit out to other ACs, younger kingdoms, and see where
Yeah.
that goes.
I loved that the 960 guys didn't all just go together. Like they seem to have all went to sort of those higher ones. Like I know 93 got some, 77, 489,
Mm-hmm.
1606. He's all got a little bit, which is good. It would have been good to see some go. I'm sure some did, but like I can't keep track of all of them to like the A seeds or whatever to help boost that a little bit.
Sure.
Um, obviously the spend in the game is what generates speeds for your whole kingdom and stuff. So it's harder for those. Like you might have some of the best players in like a seed kingdom, but if they don't have the speed regeneration or whatever it is, they're not going to be able to compete at that level. So it's hard to sort of get a gauge on that. But I think it's definitely healthy for the game for everyone to sort of spread out a bit.
Now, do you?
I know
Oh, God.
people say everyone's quitting. Like everyone's like, oh, people are quitting, blah blah blah. But like
Yeah.
you look at it, like KVKs are as competitive as ever. Like there's so many people playing the game. It seems nuts to me that like maybe the top end's getting a bit old because of those accounts. Like people have been playing for like since 2018, 2019. Like no
Yeah.
doubt these people are moving on, but there's still plenty of young whales and krakens and stuff coming through the game. Plus all those other like just really active people
Yeah.
that are definitely still like fully locked in. It feels like.
Well, I think that's my idea. Is I think Lilith has done a good job at making sure that not only are they balancing out the game in terms of the activity free to play mid spenders, but also at the same time I feel like a lot of those changes has attracted a new player base, and we're getting new players in. You're seeing these younger kingdoms grow and being a little bit more energized in terms of seeing a little bit more of a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of being able to grow into a kingdom that actually has a name for itself instead of the imps and silver imps kind of dominating the play.
Yeah.
So I think that helps out a lot as well. Do you do you have any kingdoms on, like, if you were to fast forward to next year, what do you think that vision looks like, or that the next up kingdoms? We've always known who it's been the past like 2 years. Who do you think
Yeah.
the next ones are going to be?
Um, I think like there's a lot of those like sort of mid high A seeds that like they play that really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got your 2359s, 1188s, all that sort of guys that like always stick around that level and seem to just dominate it. So it'll be interesting to see if they sort of keep growing a bit. It's crazy to me now that A seeding is like you're looking at like 1.5 I think trillion power is
Yeah.
like I mean KP sorry is like where A seed is, where I remember like even like a year ago less it was like 1 trillion was like this massive thing, and now
Yeah.
there's like maybe 20, 30 kingdoms that are like already there. So it could be any of those. And there is like those younger ones, like I know, like 3473, like with they did a massive KVK last time when in that versus 1 with 2377. They did a massive migration. They got another pretty big one coming in, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. I think it's at 3553 where
Yeah, I think
Barbara
so.
and stuff just
Baba.
went like they just got this massive power. Like I think they did maybe 1 trillion kill points in a month with migration. Like who
That's
knows what's gonna
insane.
happen there? Like yeah, absolutely insane. So there's always kingdoms that like grow pretty quickly. Sometimes have the growing pains, but it'll be interesting to see how they go. But there is also those ones that have been around for a while, like your I don't know your 1316s, your 1903s and stuff. They always seem to be like sort of that top end of A, and just seem to never die. So even like 1079 as well. All these kingdoms that have been around for ages and seem to have solid like leadership that's been there forever, and they seem committed. But that's what looks like in I don't know. Oh, these other ones are disbanding, so who knows where these ones will go as well.
Well, yeah, that actually brings up an interesting topic in terms of segueing into the disbanding side too. When it comes to leadership, do you think it's having to do with a lot of the burnout side of the thing, burnout side of the house, or um, is it more so just kind of what Cortex stepping up in terms of being able to get it done? But do you think it's more of the burnout for the game, or just kind of the leadership side?
Yeah, I think it's more like it's like all these higher accounts. Like leadership had been there for ages,
Yeah,
and like you do it, I've done it. Like it is a
it's
full time
it's a lot.
unpaid job. Yeah, like
Yeah,
especially like I like being Australian, I'm like polar opposite times to most people. I wake up every day to hundreds of Discord messages. It's
I
insane.
don't know how
Like
you do that.
it's always just something to deal with, and like what do you get from it in the end? Like
A pat on
it's
the
a lot of
back.
work. Yeah, literally, or people complaining, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, so I get the burnout. The good thing with like where we were in 3092 is we had like I think we had 50 mains when I first like in our first KVK, and there's 25 people that did like the officer role. Like that was the good
Wow.
part. It was always
Damn.
well spread out. Um, and I mean even now like we're down to 20 people, and I think 10 plus of them are still doing like officer related stuff. Like it makes it so easy, which is good. But yeah, those higher ones where you've got like 1 or 2 kings that have been doing it for
Hmm.
5 plus years, like it's insane. Like it, and like these
All by
people,
themselves
like I
too.
think it was, yeah, like people are growing up, they're having kids, they're getting married. Like no wonder they need to take a step back for
Yeah, I
sure.
think that was the cool thing about well, not the cool thing, but the messaging for some of these kings and some of these leaderships of like we've been able to see, our R4s grow into marriage, graduate college, get their first jobs,
Yeah,
have kids. And I was like, that's a really cool part about the game. But at the same time, like you said, you're 5 years deep in your life and your personality changes as a whole,
yeah,
and at some point you have to focus on other things if your life gets busy.
100%. I mean that's what the good thing about sort of how 3092 is ending now. Like it's a perfect time for me as well. Like I was looking to take a little bit of a step back as well. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is perfect. Like I can go into a new kingdom, don't have to do leadership. I can just be a field monkey, do whatever I want. And like you said, like Cortex stepping up and stuff. Like he's that young, enthusiastic guy. Like, I think he's mid 20s and stuff. Like he's got the time, he's got the drive,
The no
which
life.
there's plenty of people willing to do it.
Yeah. Now, in terms of like, if you had to give during the a lot, I mean, there's a lot of changes, right? And even my kingdom isn't within, trying to grab the headwinds of a lot of these changes. Is there anything that you would recommend to these B seeds, these A seeds that might be looking at a lot of these changes and trying to decide what to do with their own kingdoms? Like, do you see a certain path or recommendation if you were going to be in leadership again, or I know 3092 is a special project and you guys already had an end goal, but
Yeah.
is there an idea that you have that if you were to take over like a regular B seed or a regular A seed, what would be kind of your target right now, an area to
I
go
think
to?
yeah, I think that like mid A sort of level is like it seems like it's the most fun. It's where you get competitive KVKs, but you're not necessarily the ones where you're fighting for like a week straight or 2 weeks straight.
The
Like
fort drop wars.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like where you just and you're like logging on every like 3 hours to burn a fort and then go on again and again. Like
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, I think that's the sort of like the perfect level for a lot of people as well.
yeah.
I would like yeah, like if you're pushing that top end A and into Imp, you definitely need that solid team, and you need to have like 24-hour like playtime. You need to have pilots, and you need to have leadership on all the time. You've got to have like some of the best war leads and planners and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because it's just so competitive at the high end that
Yep.
like one little error can cost you a whole KVK if you like you drop the wrong fort or you're
Yep.
slightly late on a pass take, and then it's like, well, that's just wasted what like a few months in KVK now because you lost the zone or whatever it is. Like it's so
Yep.
easy to throw something.
And then also not
Yeah,
just throwing your KVK, but also potentially throwing your kingdom too out the door if you make
exactly.
one bad move.
Yeah, 100%.
What's your take on pilots then? You bringing that up, right? Well, I mean, that's been a lot of the
Yeah,
messaging too within the kingdoms. What's kind of your idea there?
I think I think it's too late to do anything about. Like it's
Mm,
now become a part of the game, and like for Lilith, it's more money. Like they're not going to stop it.
true.
Yeah, more people are going to be spending on resources, and they're going to need more speed ups. They're going to need more tech, like all this stuff. It just means more dollars in their pocket.
It has to be such an
Um,
interesting balance for the game, the owners and the developers to ride, you know, resource seller, for example, right? You have bans all the
yeah,
time and pilots all the time, but finding that balance of like, okay, well, we don't really want to disrupt things because it continues to feed our mouths, but at the same time, we need to make sure that the game stays healthy as well. So I don't
yeah.
think they're gonna do anything with the pilots either.
Nah, no chance. It's same as like resource sellers. Like they, like you're not meant to do it, but if it wasn't a thing in the game, how would anybody play? Like it would be
I
impossible.
legit don't know how people would farm enough resources for imp level.
Exactly. Like I run like I've got guys running 100 farms for me, and that doesn't even cover my like resources in a KVK. Like
Yeah,
it's insane.
on
So
top of credit generation for imps, for forts, and stuff
yeah,
like that. I wouldn't
yeah,
understand how you can play that high level.
yeah, exactly. And that's what the games. That's like all games though. Like, but especially this game, like the high end is now so competitive as well that you've got to do that. Like you've got to
Yeah.
have 10 shells that you can drop and fight out of or whatever it is. Like because you never know. You've got a blanket whole zone so you don't get fort dropped and stuff. Like obviously the game wasn't made to be played like this, but
Yeah.
the same as like
Exhausting.
any game. Yeah, 100%. Like we're blanketing our zone 6 now. It's like guys log onto your farms, build all this. Like it's just so much time and commitment. It's like when I first started playing this game, I was like, oh yeah, I'll log on and I'll battle for a couple hours on a Friday night. And
Yep.
it's like, no, now I gotta take work off or whatever it is to like be there
Yep.
all the time. So,
Well,
but that's where
so
like people do the pilots, I guess, because then they can still live their life, and that's another reason for it.
yeah, well, I mean, and not only that, but like there's certain kingdoms that I mean, you guys do it well too, and I think we're starting to push that way too. There's a difference of having random paid pilots within your servers or outsourcing versus having friends or friends of other
Yeah,
kingdoms and stuff like that, hopping in and hopping on random accounts for helping out and stuff like that. There is a little bit of a balance and a little bit of a difference, especially when you're
yeah.
talking about like the KP chasing pilots. So I think there,
Yeah, which is all the paid ones, I guess, as well, because they get paid per KP, so they're going to be putting in that extra little bit of effort for
yeah,
it.
still kind of crazy to me. Um,
Yeah, 100%.
wha- Tell us about. I know a decent amount about kind of the rise of 3092 and the origin story and stuff like that, but I'd love to kind of get a little bit deeper there and then have people understand who 3092 was, kind of the big players and the chess pieces that brought it together in the origin story there.
Yeah, so it started with the 2268 guys. I think I don't know the whole story about that, but like I think they sort of were just at the point they'd lost a few KVKs in a row. Their leadership was getting a bit burnt out as well, so they were sort of like looking to split up and stuff like that. So, three of the guys, which would have been Bus Driver, obviously probably the biggest one with his YouTube presence. But even like Black Panther, who had been around the game forever and played at the highest level, same as Gino as well. Like these guys, like just knew everybody as well. They started the kingdom, um, and did a pretty like they did a really solid early migration. Got in like people that were R5s or R4s from not necessarily like high level imps and stuff, but just like those solid A seeds, the ones that have been run really well, and people that maybe just wanted a bit of a step back.
Yeah.
I mean, like you've got like Sawtooth and stuff who's been here from the start, who's been an R5 in his old kingdoms as well as like Jeansy and stuff who was here from the start. Like these guys, same thing. Like they've been R5s and they're getting a little bit burnt out from that role. So it was just helping to spread the workload, which was massive. Like it was such a good thing about the early days of 3092 was how spread out the workload was.
So
So
when
I think we
we
went into our
oh, pause
yeah.
there. So when we fought you guys, was that like was that KVK 2 for you guys, or was that how
That was
early
our
was
first
that?
one.
That was the
That was
first
our
one?
first one.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah.
it.
So I think we had maybe 40 mains in.
Yeah.
The whole thing we wanted to do was always sort of grow slowly. Was like that, like the quality of not necessarily the quality of accounts, but the quality of person and like the quality of like just like you can't just go like the this guy's got I don't know 10 billion KP, he's gonna be a really good fighter, but he might be just an asshole to play with. Like you don't necessarily want to play with
True.
those people,
True.
which is the whole thing. Like I think we were sort of one of the first guys that started doing voice interviews and stuff for migration, and
Hmm.
like we definitely we kicked people out. We didn't accept people just based on the vibe and
Accounts.
how they fitted in the group. Like, and that's like that was what made it fun as well. Like every day on VCs, there'd be people from our kingdom, people from other kingdoms and stuff would be in our Discord just there to chat. Like it was great.
How
Um,
did sorry, how did the voice interviews go? I still haven't to this day implemented that for my recruitment. Did you mainly like did you have interpreters as well for people around the world? Like how did that work?
yeah, I don't think we really had too many that like didn't speak enough English necessarily to get by, and that was
Okay.
like the thing as well. Like if you're playing sort of in a like I know like it's like English is never everyone's first language, but most people,
Sure.
especially like our war leads are in English, so it's hard for us to like have
True.
someone that can't understand basic
English,
communication or
yeah.
whatever it is. So yeah, like and I get like right even now in the KVK we're in now, we are in with 1127, who is like a Chinese kingdom.
Hmm.
They have a separate Discord or WeChat they do for all their comms, and then there's half of us in a separate one in English, and we sort of like have people jumping between each one,
Ooh.
sharing like stuff. It's so hard because like you're not on the same page,
Yeah.
so you can be doing two different things. But like so, yeah, it was definitely always just like English based, and it's not like it was like a job interview. It was more of just like a hey, like a chat. Like it was just more or less like it wasn't like we were going to be like show us every little nitty gritty of your account. It
Hmm.
was just more to make sure you could actually hold a conversation and like communicate like basic social functions and stuff. Like everyone's been in kingdoms where people you get into VC and you just quickly see people drop off as soon as that certain person joins
Yeah.
for whatever
Yeah.
reason. Um, I mean, we still got a few of those that snuck in, but
Do you
I
think
won't name names.
I have yeah. Do you think do you think that helped with creating the community and culture that 3092 had like or and would you recommend that to most kings during their recruitment to do that
Yeah,
way?
for sure. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like I'd been in a few kingdoms and stuff, but nothing like the community that was the earlier sort of days of 3092.
Mhm.
Like it was the fact that we had like people from imps and like so many other kingdoms just like in our server chatting and
Yeah.
talking because of the
Yeah,
sort
I
of the
like that.
culture and the vibe. It definitely like reiterated the fact that we'd recruited well.
Yeah.
Um, and like we'd recruited people, like we recruited young accounts with like 3 marches and less than a billion KP, but you could see their ambition, their drive, and just how hard they were when they played the game, as well as like they just fit in. So it was
Yeah.
good. Like you want to be playing with those people, even if they're not going to be as good as like your Krakens or whatever. Like you're going to rather spend 12 hours on VC with them than
True.
someone else. So
That's a good point. So now back
yeah,
to kind of the goal. So you guys are recruiting, you hit your first KVK, but so what was the mission behind 3092 as a whole then? The creation, I
it was always
guess.
yeah. I think the like bus drivers always sort of spoke about hey wanting to reach that high A and be super competitive. Um, like and that's hard. Like it takes so much time to get to there. We always wanted to grow pretty slowly. So after our first KVK, I think the like a lot of the people had played sort of a ish level before,
Hmm.
and because we were only 40 mains, like and the kingdom before we came here was not competitive at all. We were in a pretty like I think like lower seed, I guess you could say. Like we won our first zone in a couple of hours. We won our zone 7 with a fort drop and blocked him out and stuff. So
Yeah, you
like
did.
yeah, it was good fun and it was good to like play with everybody, but we wanted to also like not be doing that for too long because it like
Sure.
everyone wanted to be playing more so higher end.
Sure.
Um, so after that we did I think we probably had another 20 migrants come in for the second KVK. where we did Siege of Orleans, which was my first siege, and
Oh, that was
holy,
your first siege?
yeah, that's the
I
first
didn't
one I've
know
ever
that.
done. Yeah, and that was definitely an experience. Same sort of thing, like just with matchmaking, we were put on the opposite side of the map to our allies, and with Siege, you can't get to the opposite side unless you're in two specific camps.
Mm-hmm.
So we were just stuck by ourselves. And so it was a 3v1 in our Zone 6, which is what leads you into Kingsland in Siege. And like that was probably one of the most, like, that was the funnest week I think I've probably ever had in Rock. Like,
Nice.
holding against 3 camps on 3 passes with our 60 mains, and we had 2 really good campmates at KVK.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the same thing though. Like, that was playing for 6-7 hours every night for weeks, because that's just how Siege is. There is no like pass fighting. Every zone means something because it gets you into the next one. I remember I'd get home, I'd have dinner, to my wife, like, all right, see you tomorrow morning. She's like, no more games. Like, this is crazy. It literally went on for like a month though. Like, it was insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the first zone was a 2v1 we had to hold. The next zone was a 3v1, and like we ended up doing that and winning, which was crazy. And that sort of, I think, brought in a few people that a lot of people sort of started to see 3092 then. Like, a few people streamed that, like Plotto did a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Only Farmer, and obviously Bus was pretty active with it. And then we tried to do a pretty big recruitment for that after that one. And that finished, our KVK finished just after the big KVK with all the imps, like the 960 2377 KVK finished, and which was sort of like a lot of people's last hurrah. Like, it was the big one at the top end. I think that's sort of when people started to retire and sort of had done it all in the game. So we picked up a few ex-imp players, and like all those people that had said like, yeah, I'm coming, sort of had now seen that we'd proven ourselves, and they were coming, like, did end up coming.
So they
So
kind of
we
made
did another
the official
siege.
jump.
Yeah, like, people are always on the offense. Like, you don't want to jump into a kingdom. It costs like so much in passports and stuff. So that everyone wanted to see that we're actually going to be competitive and stuff.
Sure.
So I think we did another maybe like 20 or 30 migrants that cycle again.
So you guys are
So we
up
ended up
to like
being,
100 accounts then?
I
Or
think we were 85-ish
85-ish?
by the time
Okay.
we like had some people leave and sort of move on as well. But then we did another siege just because
Why?
I
Did
think
you
with my,
have another? Okay, yeah. So did you guys have to pick another siege based off of other stories, or did you just guys want to go balls deep again in
yeah,
siege?
I think the only other two choices were like maybe Tides and HA,
Okay.
which, like, everyone was like super driven after the last one, and like same thing, we wanted to prove ourselves again and like keep growing. So we went to another siege, which, like, it's so much. It's
Yeah.
on leadership and the players. Like, it is so much work. It's like I'm doing a Tides now, and like you can log on for 2 days or a couple of
So
hours, whatever,
nice.
and do your pass, and then it's done. Now we've got like 2 weeks off. It's so nice
It's
just
just
to
low
chain
key
and
my
do.
favorite.
Yeah, like 100%. So yeah, we did the second siege, which was another sort of, we were stuck by ourselves again,
Mm-hmm.
not as badly, but we were getting 2v1 in the first zone and in zone 6 again. And it was just like, it was draining, man. Like, we weren't gaining any territory, we weren't losing any territory, but people don't want to log on every few hours to try and like save a fort or burn a fort or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think as that KVK went on and sort of stalemated more and more, and like leadership started to get burnt out, everyone sort of started to get burnt out. I think that was probably like the start of I guess the start of the end, you could say.
Sure.
That's when people definitely and that's the hard thing. Like, we expected the crazy activity, 2 KVKs in a row, like, and people are tired. People got real life. Like, not everyone can commit to that, and pilots aren't going to log on just to send rallies at a fort for a few hours to get a burn or to fill a garrison or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's not what they do.
Yeah, which, like, you cannot blame anybody for that. Like, it is a lot. It's a commitment. So after that KVK, we lost a few people. A lot of people sort of retired and got rid of their accounts. And then I think that's sort of when, like, leadership, like, as well, everyone sort of started having stuff come up in real life and they couldn't commit to the effort, and then sort of one person left, and then everyone sort of followed suit from there. And like, it is what it is. It's how the game goes. I'm
So
probably a good thing for me as well. Like I
yeah,
said, like I was keen to take a bit of a step back as well. Um,
did people start leaving did people start announcing retirements and leave before Bus Driver made the announcement, or was
uh,
Bus Driver kind of the final dagger to everything?
there was a few people privately that had like told us they were like leaving after that second siege we did, or were looking to leave soon. So we knew there was definitely a few people. I
Sure.
think once Bus Driver was like he was obviously like sort of the face
Yep.
publicly of the kingdom. Like I don't think people realize how many people behind the scenes were doing stuff either.
No,
So
absolutely not. I
I
don't
guess
think so.
if you're losing your head coach or whatever, like your star player, it looks like you're gonna lose other people from that.
Sure.
Um, even though there is a whole team there. So after that, we definitely had a few more people start to jump, and we just like decided like this. I think like there's no point us trying to like dig in and just like save this. If people don't want to do it, people want to keep being competitive. Like we're going to be stuck in this lower seed again for another 1 or 2 KVKs,
Yeah.
and the same thing's going to happen. People are going to leave. People are going to get bored of it. So we announced that we were disbanding. And I think there is probably 5 or 6 of us, or 5 of us that were R5s at the time that stayed for this KVK because we announced it like probably 2 or 3 weeks out from before we had to go to registration for KVK. So
Sure.
we didn't want to leave. We didn't want to leave everybody high and dry and
I
be
was
like,
gonna
all
say
right,
you
go.
just had a migration too, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. We just brought people in. Like it wasn't like this was not planned at all. But like the domino sort of started to fall, and that's the thing. So like myself and a few others, like we're not going to leave these new guys high and dry, and even the people that are here, like they're passport locked. Like we're not going to do that to them.
Yeah.
So we committed to doing this KVK. It's been pretty fun. Um, it's like I think we have 25 active fighters, but like we're in a good camp as well. So
Okay.
it's just fun to like run around. I mean, we're third for Kingdom DKP out of the whole KVK with our 25. So everyone's still going hard and having fun.
A little
But
less
it's nice
stressful.
not to have to. Yeah, it's nice not to have to camp lead and like
Yep.
do all this crazy stuff. Like we're still obviously involved, but we don't have to have everything on our shoulders for once, which is nice.
So looking back, is there one thing that you I know everything happens for a reason, and I think I agree ultimately you going on and doing your own thing is going to be great for you personally in your account and like
Yeah.
what you want to do for Rise of Kingdoms. But looking back, is there anything that you might have would have changed? Because I think a lot of people outside looking in, 3092, I would have definitely put on that list of, up and coming rising stars, right? um,
Yeah.
is there anything that you would have changed, or looking back, there's anything that you could have done to save the mission, I guess, in a way, or
Yeah, there's definitely like two probably big things that stick out. There was the between the two sieges of Orleans, like we realized how big farm troops were.
ooh, interesting.
Like
Okay,
because especially with siege, it's all forts, like because you're not doing the pass fighting, so it's all territory fighting. So you've got to be building flags and stuff. So we just told everyone, bring in all your fat farms, bring in everything. We'll hit domain, and then we can just cycle in these farms as you
mm-hmm.
needed to. Then literally out of nowhere, Lilith changed how domains worked.
Yep,
It wasn't based on like numbers anymore. It was based on like activity or whatever it was. Like, so we were super bloated for our KP. Even we still are now because people just have left these fat farms here because no kingdom's going to take them now. Um, like
so
I
say
brought in
you
a
had a
few like
ton, didn't you, on your own?
yeah, like yeah, like 50, 60 million farms that like just had too much research power and stuff. But I'm like they had troops that had speed, so let's just burn these.
I
But
I think I remember you
it obviously
saying you alone took like, oh, what was it, like 30 million deads, like on your
yeah,
all
like
of your
on the second
farms?
thing, yeah,
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
second one, yeah. Um,
that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and like that's the thing, like because I just brought in so many accounts to like train for this, and there was like people brought in their alts and stuff. They're like, well, I'm not doing anything with it. I might as well drain the troops here,
Sure.
and then let it like sleep or whatever it is, or we can just cycle it out and reuse it. But that sort of like that definitely cooked us in terms of our matchmaking power, and
Mm-hmm.
like even now in this KVK. We're still like 20 billion power off the top 900 or whatever, but we have 25 active fighters. Like, it just doesn't line up, obviously.
Yeah.
And in our second siege, it sort of didn't help with the matchmaking because we looked like
Fat.
we were a lot we look a lot fatter than we were. So that was probably one big thing. And then I think obviously doing the back-to-back siege
Yeah,
isn't the best.
not ideal.
Like they're fun to do those big commitment ones, but yeah, like same sort of thing. We had everyone sort of around here was like mid-20s, late 20s. Like everyone's either like doing full-time jobs or finishing college or uni or whatever and getting into that. So it's hard for everyone to commit to that full time.
Yeah.
And that's when you have the pilots that struggles, like they don't want to log on to do that.
It's
That was probably it. And also like we just like because we didn't want to keep being in that lower seed, like we won a 3v1, like we're better than we're bigger than this, it sort of felt like a little bit.
sure.
So we
Yeah.
had definitely tried to put in more main so we could get out of that seeding. We tried so hard to get out of that seeding, and then we probably tried too hard and got stuck with too many accounts that didn't necessarily fit our original vibe and goal. Like some of the people that I guess like were like the ones that were playing imps that were sort of semi-retiring. Like we wanted to go back to like that level, so why would we take people that wanted to leave that
Retire.
level?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't want to put in that, which like that's completely fine. Like,
Yeah,
but
but not the mission that you wanted to go
yeah,
towards.
exactly. But because it was more sort of like we're just bringing in friends and people that like had been around for a while.
Yeah.
It was that sort of definitely didn't help either. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, Panther, for example, right? I mean, he obviously had the project in mind, but I mean, how much longer he had was always a timeline,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I mean he retired before our first siege and then played that whole first one and then retired again after the second one. So
So
um,
where's everybody at now? Like, how are the relationships with the OG crew, and then what's kind of the future state for 3092
yeah,
and then the crew?
yeah, everyone's like there's no like hard feelings or whatever. Everyone's like still here. We're actually like most people are all going to a kingdom together after this KVK. I think there's 20 people that are all going together.
Nice.
Out of yeah, most of the other ones have like everyone's still in our Discord talks and stuff and whatever it is. Like a few people left before this KVK, a few people left during this KVK. Like we knew,
That
and then
was bound
obviously
to
those that
happen.
committed to stay. Yeah, which we knew, and like when like who cares? Like
Yeah.
we are in this situation. There is nothing we can do about it. Like gave people the migration tickets that wanted to, so they didn't have to spend their crystals or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And if people wanted to play for a little bit before they left, no worries. Like it is what it is, sort of thing. And we were like honest with our allies and our Diplo that like, look, we might look like this, but we are not what we used to be. So that was like that's a good thing as well, I guess. Everyone was aware like that we're
Yeah.
not necessarily this 80 camp, 80 player KD anymore. But
How was it looking
yeah, there's definitely
for?
no hard feelings.
That's good. How was it looking for kingdoms for group migration? Because I know group migrations can be a little bit more difficult, but at the same
Yeah,
time, it wasn't like your group was made up of a bunch of lightweights either.
no, like I think of the 20, I think the 20 of us that like looked might be like 2 bill power and 200, 250 bill kill points. So like we're a pretty like solid group it feels. I thought
Yeah.
it'd be really hard. Like everyone sort of wanted to go to that A-ish seed,
Hmm.
high to mid A, and I was like, God, like no one's gonna take a group of 20 people. Um, so I definitely started reaching out individually, but then talking to a lot of these people, they're like, oh, what's the rest? What's everyone else doing? I was like, oh, well, like these guys actually want to take a group. So it was a lot easier than I thought. Like we like made a list of I reckon maybe 10 or 15 kingdoms that had all expressed interest in us.
Sure.
And we took it to our like group that was looking to migrate together. Narrowed it down to a couple, ended up having a vote and all chose one, which was cool. It was pretty unanimous as well, which was nice. So like
That's good.
wasn't like anyone yeah. And those because we had brought in um we were going to actually have a semi merger with 3321 before it all went downhill, I guess.
That was what
Um,
was the king over there's name
that was
again?
Jackie's
Jackie.
kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he like a few of his guys had come beforehand, and they were in KVK, so if they were waiting to finish their KVK, and then they were going to come. So a few of their guys got stuck here, but like they've gone to where Jackie and his crew's gone now. So like that they've split, they've gone that way, which is good. So yeah, I think it was surprisingly easy to get in the group. Which I thought would have been painful, and I didn't want. And that's what we wanted. We didn't want everyone just stuck, like looking
Yeah.
and getting split up, because like we've been playing together for I guess a year probably, every day, 2 well, 3 really big KVKs.
Yeah.
So
So how
yeah,
long
there's
have
like
you been
no
playing with like Puggles and those guys? So like the guys who are coming to 21, how long
yeah.
have you guys been playing with them?
So I've been playing with them since like 3150.
Oh
So it's probably
wow,
nearly
okay.
yeah. Like I've been playing with them for a while. Like I used to play on my like OG account back then.
That's
So
awesome.
I reckon yeah, it's probably nearly been close to 2 years with those guys. Same as KPZ.
Yeah.
Um, so we were in a bigger group of maybe 10. And then we split up when we came to. I went to 3092 early, and then
Hmm.
Puggles and Lexo and KBZ came here for the last KVK, and then a few others split and went to. They're in 1079 now, actually. Um, and then yeah, now the guys are coming to you after our KVK here, which
And
will be cool.
then I don't know, did you say where you guys are going then?
Yeah, we're going to 2563, so they're a high A seed. I think they're currently about 1.1 trillion um,
Nice.
kill points, but they're just going into they're going into a pretty big KVK now as well, with I think it's 1316 and a few others. So that'll be cool to see how they go with that.
So how do
Um,
you think your account's gonna compete at that level? Are you excited about that? I know you've been dominating in your KVK right now. What are you up to? So you're up to I'm trying to pull it up too.
uh,
Let's see. So Toby, you only had Z5 fight, right?
yeah, we had just the one
So
fight so far.
you had 30 billion kill points in Zone 5, is that correct?
That's what I
Oh,
started with,
that's what
30
you started
billion.
with. Okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
would have been wild. 4 billion.
yeah. I think I've
4.9.
done 4 point. Yeah, something like that.
No, yeah, 4.2, whatever. 4.2, yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, yeah. But that's like, I mean, that's the pilot game. Like I play to be like pretty competitive. I have pilots. I have like this my the whole point of my account was always to be like in that higher level. So I
Hmm.
have everything set up. Like that I have a whole team that plays my account. Like it's
Yep.
crazy. Like I've probably got 20 people in my server that are always actively playing. I've got 2 or 3 people that like run all my other farms and stuff, let alone the war parts as well. So like yeah, I mean I do like yeah, I've got a whole team that runs everything for me, and me and Jake like have teamed up and played an account together now, so we have double the spend on the account that like most people have.
That's awesome.
Um, we both had SVIP accounts, like 100 mil plus, like 20 bill kill points, and now we're doing that on one account. So
Start
it's gonna
humming.
be competitive.
And you guys are
Yeah, and
opposite
that's what we
time
want to
zones
do.
too, which is awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So we got like 24-hour coverage, which is crazy.
How long have you known him for?
Um, so he helped out with our OL last year.
Hmm.
Well, like a few months ago, whatever that was, and I met him through that. And we sort of just hit it off. We're very similar. It's a bit terrifying. Um,
Man, you guys act like
how
you've known each other for a couple years.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like it was just like that instant like sort of connection and like friendship. And he had sort of was playing an account with someone else and like started doing that, and then the person he was playing with like retired after a few weeks or months of them playing
Hmm.
together. So he also like same thing. He's in a similar boat to me. Like can't commit full time to playing a game. Like we're both busy, both got real jobs and stuff like
Yep,
that.
yep.
So I was looking for someone to help. He was looking for someone to help, and like he landed in 3092, and then we literally announced we're disbanding, and we're like let's just team up. This is easy. Like this is good. So it
That's
worked out
awesome.
pretty much perfectly. Yeah.
That's sweet. All right.
Um.
Now, are you
Yeah.
online to share some of your send me the
Yeah. Can be.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to kind of show the new account and see which so you expect to what are you going to try to pull in terms of next KVK?
So we want to get the Zenith skin, so we don't want to go too crazy this KVK. Well, depending on what it is, if it's like a siege one or something, I'm not gonna touch it. But
Yeah.
um,
Send
uh,
me send me this. I only have my game showed up, so just send DM me the sets through the game, and I can pull them up on my end. Let me see.
uh,
Let me find you.
what,
I'll send you a chat real quick. You know how you share
yeah,
the
yeah,
sets?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll do that.
Um, so you haven't had this account too long, have you?
No, this is my
No.
first KVK
Yeah.
running this one. Um, yeah, like generally, this is my old one. I was still doing. I think I did like the 2 KVKs. I did 3 bill with both the Siege of Orleans and stuff. But same sort of thing. Like they were, it was pretty drained after 2 sieges. And I'm like, well, do I just spend time, money, and like into rebuilding up from, I think I had like 100 speeds left or whatever, and no resources. It was like, this isn't. And from the last siege, we definitely saw that we needed more rally garrisons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I looked to upgrade the account to make life a bit easier.
114 and 34. It's kind of crazy. You'll hit 35, no problem.
Yeah, easy. I mean, I reckon if we wanted to, depending on fights and stuff, we could probably hit like maybe 37. But same thing, like we want to save for Zenith. We don't want to go too crazy.
So it's like, how much speed do you have? Just
We've got 3,500 days
oof.
universals, and then with the exchange event in KVK is unreal.
So nice. It's crazy.
So that was good. Yeah, that's massive. So that got us nearly 1,000 days of 1,000 days of training as well, which was good. So we're probably sitting at close to like 4,500 days for KVK.
Is this everything? Before I open it up?
No, I need to. Hang on, I need to need the
Okay.
second cav. Where is that? Where's the second cav?
Next one. What do you predict? I know everybody's trying to predict different things. But what do you predict in the next Zenith be?
I think they're gonna be like. I'm hoping it's like a all damage, or it has to be. It feels like it has to be universal. Like they're due for the universal one. One more set. There's one more. There should be 7. Where is that one? It's on there.
Zeno, you got on Zeno.
Yeah, I've just been chaining, so they're all over the place. The sets.
Alright, cool. I'll start with BQ.
The armaments might not be. I'll show you my arch armaments as well, because that's probably the only one that won't be perfect. Yeah, I think we're due for. I'm hoping like an all damage or universal health. We've got the universal defense, the boat one.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, if it's an all damage, I'll go in ham for that. Like, it'd be crazy. Maybe like a 6, 7, 8% all damage would be crazy.
How competitive is Zenith going to be though in the next kingdom?
Yeah. Well, that's the hopefully it should come sort of end of September, which lines up pretty well with our KVK. So, 2563 is like 2 weeks, 3 weeks behind us on KVK, so we can stick around in 92 for a while and get a fairly cheap one, ideally, if all goes well.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, like if we have to stick here for 2 or 3 weeks by ourselves to save a few thousand days of speeds, like why not?
Sure.
And I think there'll be probably a few people, because our continent's not even that competitive normally. So once everyone from here leaves, we should be fine. The 2 Zeniths we've done here, I think we've probably had 6 or 7 of the top 10. So.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's been really nice being in a area where Zenith is not that competitive, because I was able to get number 1 as well, and cheap amount. I mean, it was Archer though, but so what are you working on for? What's kind of your goal here with your account?
So before this KVK started, we just finished we just started the leadership set, which is on Hera. So we just crafted that and got that all to level 2 for this KVK.
Yeah, that's crazy. How was that? Was it nice to have?
Yeah, so I was so close to getting 7 marches for first pass. I was probably like 4 million crystals off. So I've had to chain a little bit harder. We would have been fine. That's why we crafted the 7th set. But it's been super handy to have, just even for like random TPing or whatever, like, or if you purposely sit on the front line off territory and people tap your city by accident. It's nice to have the garrison there and watch them take some big deads. Plus, going the 7th as leadership, it's so versatile. Like, you can run a siege march, you can have a city garrison, you can run it as a cav or imp, whatever. It's really nice to have that sort of versatility with that. That's why we went to the leadership, as well as like canyon and stuff. It's not bad to have that.
Are you building with that at all, or just?
Yeah, we ran. Yeah, I've run it as a 3rd cav.
Okay.
For a bit, which is like, it does fine. It still trades pretty well. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as a full cav set, but I mean, if I wanted to run archers, or if I'm out of cav and I have heaps of imp, I could run a 3rd imp set or whatever it is.
Yeah, you had the flexibility.
Even in Strife yesterday, I was running a siege march with it because I'd run out of all my other troops, so it's good to have.
This cav set's crazy though.
Yeah, so the main cav set obviously like is this account's a rally garrison cav, which is good.
Yep.
It's nice to have that option. Um, right now we're starting to work on the second cav set and getting all the all damage stuff. So we just did the pants to level 4. So that's the all damage, and then we can do the helmet, weapon, and chest will come soon, hopefully. That's just more all damage, all troops damage a troop on the maps. And then the plan from there is just to sort of
Round it out.
get all the stuff. So most of it, the time it's just the weapon, helmet, and pants to level 4 to get that damage troop on the map, and then we'll start critting stuff. All our sets are now level 2, which is good. Jake's a massive OL nerd, so he loves that sort of that side of it. The level 2 is sort of, I guess, needed at the higher end of OL as well, so it'll be good.
That's awesome. Yeah, this arch formation is disgusting.
Yeah, I
Jeez.
could have done destructive for it, but I like there's so much fight over the if
Uh,
destructive's worth it or not, so we just went robust
that's smart.
for the rally. The good we had a Delta
Hmm.
cav play here, which was good. So we had both options for rallying. Obviously, Arch is a bit better for getting swarmed on a rally, but
You were talking
I
about
think that
how do you recommend everybody get into like when you're upgrading sets? Do you recommend everybody to upgrade to level 2 and then move on to the next? Like, what Jakey was talking
uh,
about?
yeah, I think it depends on sort of your spend and your account.
Hmm.
Like I know like a lot of my mates that I play with now don't spend as much as I do or whatever. That I always recommend like everyone seems to always want to go to 6 or 7 marches. Like I it it increases your resource cost, your speed cost, your
Yep.
tech cost. Like I don't think it's worth it for 95% of players.
Agreed.
I always say like build your 5. Don't. I think a lot of early game as well. People always sort of overcommit to one set because they've only got like one T5 train or whatever it is, and then they end up spending a lot of materials on one set because maybe they're stuck on gold heads or whatever it is. By the time you get to SOC, your account grows so quickly with like getting wider. And if people get narrowed into one troop or one gear set, it can sort of make it hard. I always say like yeah, go wider. You don't like unless you're like an SVIP account or like a massive spender, you're not going to be a rally or garrison like the cost and the gear and stuff, especially because
Sure.
the game's been around for so long now. The older accounts are going to do that. Like your gear's not going to be at that level just if you're a newer account or whatever it is, if you're not spending ridiculous amounts of money. Um, so I always recommend going like your 5 sets and then you sort of start going to level 2 on everything from there. If you get any crits, do that to level 2 first. There's a lot of sort of like I guess conversations about do you crit or do you awaken first. My whole thing is at least like an awaken is a guaranteed like boost to your account. Where if you're critting, you could be wasting 3 blueprints and all the materials for nothing. If you're getting a few 25%. So
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool, man.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate you spending some time with me today. I don't really have too much else that I wanted to hit on, but this has been great. I appreciate it. Anything else that you wanted to add or talk about? Otherwise, I'm pretty good on my end.
if you're looking for a fun B seed going to A seed, go to 3221. Hit up Law.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we are
No worries,
on
mate.
the way. We got a decent migration coming in. We're aiming for 30 accounts and we're up to 14 now. So,
Yeah,
a couple of your boys and a couple boys from another kingdom as well. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I
it'll be
think
good
what
fun.
you were talking about is that sweet spot of getting to that mid A seed area and not
Yeah,
having too much stress of credit grind and an organization
yeah.
and still having fun with friends. I think that's what I'm aiming
Yeah,
for.
that's like you guys as well. Like same thing with your Discord and stuff as well. Like your community is massive and it's like so strong in your kingdom. With like same thing. Like people jump in there. Like I've been in your Discord for I don't know since probably nearly a year. And I'm always in and out of there.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. You guys have a really strong community, which is the massive benefit, and that will bring people in as well. Like I know that's the selling point to feel my mates that are coming there to play with you because of the community, the activity,
Yeah.
like the social side of it. It's what people want to play the game
The
for. That's why
social
everyone
side.
like,
Yep.
yeah, this is why people play this game. Like, no other game has this level of socializing, I don't think. So,
No, I
yeah,
agree. And I think that's the cool thing about running and being a king that helps with the burnout is really being able to understand people, Puggles having a kid, you and your job, and learning other people's lives and around the world. It's very rewarding when you can have a good place for people to escape reality in the world. So
Yeah, 100%.
it's,
Watching them grow as people as well, it's crazy.
oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
I think that part's awesome. Well, I
yeah.
appreciate it, man. I
No,
appreciate
mate.
you starting us off on this series, and we'll have a couple more interviews, and we'll see who else we can line up for the
Yeah,
next couple months.
sounds good.
Appreciate it, man. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Nice. You too.